for Three Blind Mice, what made you want to pursue that story? This project, this story, this.
Yeah. Well, I felt like I had a really interesting Black experience.
Hello, welcome to the opening scene. What happens when the story you're telling on screen is also the story you're trying to figure out in real life? And what does it look like to build characters that feel real, layered, and not stereotypical in today's industry that leans on shortcuts? Well, actor and writer Imani Nia Robinson is the creator of Three Blind Mice. No, not the 1938 project. It's a project born out of what she calls her really interesting Black experience and the feeling of being othered. In this conversation, we get into how identity, faith, and lived experience show up in her work, how she's thinking about the next phase of her career, and what it means to make the kind of art we're not used to seeing. We're excited about this one, so let's get into it. This is the opening scene with Imani Nia Robinson.
Imani,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm doing good.
Thank you so much for being here to talk with us about not just your journey, but an amazing project that highlights so much of your own creativity, but then so much of the beautiful tapestry of Baltimore as well, and the creators that you had a chance to be a part of that project.
Of course. I'm excited to talk about it.
Happy to talk about it. But before we dive into Three Blind Mice, again, we want to kind of get a better understanding of you. And I would love to understand, for lack of better words and a little punny, the opening scene for your own creative story.
Yeah. Well, I started acting when I was 9 years old. It was like my passion ever since because I was such a shy and awkward child. But like on stage, I felt so free. I remember specifically with writing, I went to Baltimore School for the Arts, and there's something called Junior C Night where we got to write our own one acts. And everyone in the class had to write one. And mine got chosen to be performed by my classmates. Yay! And it was a comedy. It was called The Birthday Present. And I remember seeing my classmates perform my words and seeing like my words come to life and like the audience reaction of like laughter. Like, wow, I never knew I liked other art forms besides acting. And so that really opened up a whole new world for me.
Now, was that junior high school?
Junior, Baltimore School for the Arts, yep.
Junior year.
Mm-hmm.
So did that kind of just solidify it? You talked about acting earlier on when you were 9. So like once you got to that part where you got the chance to write and it came to live and you saw the affirmations and the response, was it from then on, let me just make sure I write as much as possible?
That's just what sparked it.
Okay.
But then my mentor, Nina Noble, who was also executive producer of HBO's The Deuce and other like shows on that platform, she told me, Imani, maybe you should try and get more into screenwriting because acting isn't always promised as a career. It's going to be kind of challenging. And so she took me under her wing, and I had several internship opportunities with HBO because of her. And I got to learn screenwriting by actually having that experience.
Yeah. Shout out to the mentors.
Yeah, I think it's really important if you can have a mentor who really cares and guides you through. So I'm really blessed to have her.
And I assume you all have still been able to keep in contact and in touch now. Like there's no disruption. Like she's still carrying you through.
No, absolutely. She actually has been helpful with Three Blind Mice and been in pitch meetings with me and guiding me through the entire process.
Awesome. I don't know when you started Faith and Purpose Productions, but I'm curious the name behind it. Is there faith and purpose questions that you're asking every single time you write something?
I'm really happy that you asked me about the name because I don't really think I ever explained it to anybody. So my name Imani means faith, and my middle name Nia means purpose, and that's how I came up with Faith Purpose Productions.
Okay.
And it was like my YouTube channel back in like college, and I wanted to live through faith and purpose because I was getting nervous about graduating and like where my life was going to take me and everything. And so that was a great name for my projects, Faith and Purpose Productions, and having those things in mind when going through my career.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And also, I used to have an agency that was kind of tied to my name. It was like had Cam and had Air. Like it was a double entendre, if you will, but I wanted to remove like myself from the actual name just because it wasn't just about me.
Yeah.
I love how there's still like ties of you inside of the name of your production company.
Yeah.
While also still having a little bit more elaborate meaning behind it as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's not like your outfit for the production company focuses on faith and religion movies
and
necessarily.
Which is why I'm happy you brought that up, because I think maybe some people probably think that's what it is.
Right.
And like, yeah, but
not necessarily the genre that you sit within.
No, not the. I mean, I love God, I believe in God,
1000.
but it's not religion-based
For sure.
productions. Yeah. So. Yeah.
How would you describe the type of productions that, through Faith and Purpose production company, or the projects you just even take on that you want to pursue yourself?
Yeah, I want to pursue projects that incite really intelligent conversations, sometimes even debates on like Black culture, on society. I want it to create characters that have depth and who are really layered and evoke emotion. I want to just create really amazing art that we're not used to seeing. And specifically like Black characters and stories that deserve to have light shed on them.
Yeah, love that.
And stay away from like stereotypes.
We're going to dive into that a little bit as far as staying away from the stereotypes.
Yeah.
I kind of want to shift to obviously a project underneath of the banner of Faith and Purpose, Three Blind Mice.
Yeah.
Help me as we talk about names. If you type in Three Blind Mice, a completely different meaning.
That's true, yeah.
And what made you lead with the name of Three Blind Mice, or how did that name come to be the name for this project?
Yeah, it was funny because first it was the Cocoa and Cream Show, and it was colorblind, and it became Three Blind Mice, and my co-producer Abdul Majid helped me come up with the name Three Blind Mice because it's about three Black women who come from three different backgrounds, and they come together during that transition into adulthood, and because there's no manual for that, it's the blind leading the blind, so it's a play on words.
With you being the writer and actor, I'm curious, like, how do you keep that separate? Call it a very naive question of mine, but I'm just curious, like, how do you make sure that the characters are fully formed? You're not over-influencing one, especially, like, your lead that you're actually playing. How do you make sure, like, the writing is as balanced and fully developed as possible, even though you are on screen yourself?
That's true. Well, I mean, I took inspiration from experiences in my life that I've witnessed or that I've obviously experienced, and I've had 75 rewrites of the script, and I've gotten so much feedback from so many people of all walks of life, of all demographics and backgrounds, and I've gotten a lot of feedback on it, and so it was kind of easy to take myself out of it because I knew the impact I was trying to create, but also too, like, I love 90s content, and what I love about 90s too is like the improv that goes on, like in Martin or like Fresh Prince or whatever, and so I really strongly encouraged improv throughout Three Blind Mice.
Nice.
So that way we could have like really genuine moments.
Yeah.
And a lot of those scenes were improvised, and so that was also the way of taking myself outside of the writer and just becoming the performer in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Did that make it difficult in the edit? You know, sometimes you're like, the take is going to be this because it's written on a page or it's something that's discussed on set. And so, at least you have 3 or 4 of these. But if you're stitching lines together from some improv, like, that line works, but it might not really work with the rest of what you say. How would that work in the edit? Or how did that work in the edit?
Well, I had really amazing, talented actors who, kind of knew, like, maybe the first take, it was an improv line. So they just know to continue that line moving forward with the other takes.
Okay.
And so, I don't know, it was just all just divine. Like, all just knew what to do. We all were all like on one accord. Yeah. So it just worked out.
I love that. I'm going to ask the question about one of your actors you have. I think her name is Brittany.
Yeah.
I know in the pilot she's doing like a poetry, like freestyle in the actual pilot itself.
Yeah, she is.
But she also has that talent, like just like outside of that character.
Yeah.
Did you automatically put that into the script, or was that kind of like in the improvising sector of like the play itself or the pilot itself?
We actually asked her 2 days before we filmed for her to write her own song, and she did that on her own.
Wow.
Yeah, so all the poetry in that scene, I actually didn't write it. The people who were performing, it was their work.
But that was already built into the character, like someone who knows how to do that. Okay.
And so I've known her for like 8 years now, and I've known that was her talent, and I wanted her to be able to showcase her talent. And also, Baltimore has such a huge creative community.
It does.
Especially so spoken word, and I really wanted to highlight that and also take inspiration from Love Jones. And so all of that is why I added that in there with Brittany.
Yeah, I did see some different. I think I saw like a nod to like the insecure, awkward black girl in the scene when you're actually getting ready for like to go out with the friends.
Oh.
And it's like the close-up shot at that point in time. I'm not sure from the writing standpoint, but maybe just from the angles and the DP shot, it just felt like we're back in that type of frame where the influence came from that. And unfortunately, no spoiler, but like what happens next when you walk outside.
Oh, when they were.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
For Three Blind Mice, what made you want to pursue that story? This project, this story, this.
Yeah. Well, I felt like I had a really interesting Black experience, which sometimes at the moment growing up, being like the only Black girl in your class and experiencing certain microaggressions, but then going to another school, finally when you have other people that look like you, and then realizing that sometimes those comments that are made make you feel like you're not like really Black enough either. And I didn't realize until, talking to other people that so many people can relate to it. Even if you're not Black, people really took to Three Blind Mice because identity and feeling othered are universal themes. And so that's really what made me realize, okay, this story is so impactful. And I feel like we don't really see a lot of Black characters that have certain like depths or who are layered nowadays, like on television. It was so important for me to showcase that and like not be stereotypical. Like for example, Damon, who's in Three Blind Mice, who's like a fraternity guy.
Yeah.
He's a ladies' man. He's studying political science, but he also is like a comic book nerd. You don't always see that, you know what I mean? You only see like maybe a Black fraternity guy who's just like, maybe like for example a player.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show more depth into all the characters. I don't want you to like be able to be like, oh, I see what's coming next. No, because we're all humans. We all have different backgrounds and upbringings, and your upbringings like really determine how you're going to show up in the world. Yeah. And how you cater to relationships that you build along the way. And so I really want it to be about that.
It speaks to what you said slightly earlier, just about avoiding those stereotypes.
It's so important, yeah.
Yeah.
And HBCU culture is kind of like a microcosm of the Black experience, too.
Yeah.
But also, too, like, a lot of the show does take place in college. For Naeem, it's POV, but for Muffin and Brittany, they're recent graduates of college, so we see, like, what is it like in the real world for them being recent graduates. So it's like both worlds are happening at the same time.
Yeah. Which is, I think, to your point that you made, it's super evergreen. It's universal.
Yeah.
It's an evergreen concept where there's people who are always graduating and stepping into this world that they've never been into. But there's someone who's like entering this new world in college who's it's such a whirlwind, whether it be to HBCUs or PWIs. Like it's such a different perspective that they're having to grow into that might be different from what they came from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was so important for me to do.
Are you happy with it?
I'm so proud of it. Yeah, I really, really am. I really, really am proud of it.
I want to get kind of into like the production days a little bit, and if there's something that happened on set, where things just felt like they're gonna go sideways. Because again, you're in different locations, just in the pilot. Like you're not just housed in one house.
Yeah.
You're on like a campus, home, actual venue where there's poetry taking place.
Exactly.
You're all over.
Yeah.
Drones over the city. Like there's so many different things that are happening. Is there a day that you can recall that things kind of just were like, oh, this is going to be a rough day, but it was saved?
Let's see. I mean, it was a challenging day because like there was a day on the campus where
Mm-hmm.
like all the B-roll footage like was like got lost because
Ooh.
it wasn't, you know, saved correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a really challenging day. And then our insurance didn't cover lost footage. And so we had to like refilm, we just refilmed that whole day. And it really got saved because of my mom, because of her.
Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to her. She's the best. Yeah. She really fronted majority of the money for all of the episode.
Wow.
And if it weren't for her, I don't know how, none of this would actually have happened.
Wow.
So she is like what saved everything.
Man, shout out to moms.
She's
oh
the
my
best.
goodness.
Yeah, she's the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
That was saved too. And
Yes.
and it was just B-roll focus. It wasn't like you had to redo a whole scene or anything on those lines as far as like dialogue.
Well,
and...
we did so we filmed the campus scene once.
Okay.
And then we filmed it again. So it was in December we filmed it, and we filmed the whole scene again in April. So yeah.
Heavy.
Very.
Heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of locations, you filmed this at Coppin.
Yeah.
What does Baltimore bring, the city itself, the environment itself, bring to this production that you couldn't fake anywhere else?
Well, first of all, Baltimore is a huge character in 3 Blind Mice within itself. Certain energy that Baltimore exudes, a certain like flavor, swag that I don't think could be done anywhere else. And also, like we were talking about earlier, showing Baltimore in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty of it, it's nicknamed Charm City for a reason. And I really wanted to showcase that in 3 Blind Mice as its own character. And I think that showing Baltimore in this light that we haven't really ever seen makes it very unique. Really like a once-in-a-lifetime like show, an opportunity.
Yeah.
I feel like it wouldn't have as much of an impact if it was filmed in like New York, for example, or like Atlanta, like which are usually are like backdrops that we're really, really used to.
Mm-hmm.
I think because it's in Baltimore, it kind of makes the show stand out even more because it's different.
I like that. Also, so what we were talking about before, I think it's different, even it's in Baltimore. Like, Baltimore has been used in these different shows. We think about The Wire, a show that you were a part of as well. We think about We Own the City. Like, these different, there's a grittier, there's a darker undertone that we're always exploring with Baltimore.
Yeah.
And this one feels fresh, light, and it feels lived in so many different ways, but it feels like I can live there as well. I'm not afraid of the police coming to get me necessarily because I'm what I'm watching. I'm not afraid of like the drug dealing or like so many different things that every city, I feel like necessarily major metropolis areas usually have like some type of grittier urban kind of I want to stay away from.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
But you, again, have done a fantastic job, I think, of really just exploring how can we still just show Charm City.
Thank you.
As Charm City.
Yeah, I want to make communities want to come and visit Baltimore and like visit the landmarks that are in the show and bring business to the city.
For sure.
It deserves that.
Get that tourism back. I got you.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah.
You said there were 75 rewrites.
Yeah.
What was a scene that was like, okay, no, this is perfect, and we're gonna build around this and move forward with this scene?
Well, I was struggling a little bit about like what happens once Naima gets to Baltimore and making it like interesting for the audience. Because I knew that I had to get through her time in Massachusetts kind of quickly because this was supposed to be a proof of concept just to hopefully get someone to want to buy it.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was like on elliptical, listening to like a Mary J. Blige song.
I love the inspiration.
Like a remake with Biggie Smalls, and I'm like, because like all those '90s songs helped me like brainstorm.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, maybe it'd be really, really cool if like Brittany was giving Naima a tour when she got on campus. And so that kind of was like the missing puzzle. I was like, oh wow, I think I really figured it out now. And so then I wrote that, and then I felt more confident with the script.
It flowed the rest of the way from there.
Yeah, because I knew, because my mom, thank God for her, she was paying for it, and I knew like we had one chance to get it right, because it's a lot of money, and so I had so much stress trying to make sure that the script was as perfect as possible, and it was my first screenplay ever. Like,
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, and so that's also why I took so many, because I knew I had to be taken seriously. It had to be written well, and it had to be shot really well, and I knew that was really important. So I had to like really take my time with it.
Why was this the first story that you decided to write?
Well, another reason why I came with Three Blind Mice is because acting was my favorite, my number one passion, and I wanted to create like the perfect role for me to star in, and I was just so attached to this story. And that's why,
yeah, it just made sense at that point. You did phenomenal in it, by the way. The energy that you and the entire cast bring across, it's really fun to watch.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's really, really fun. Now, as you said, it took a while to write, but then also we're in this moment with Three Blind Mice that you filmed, shot, and I think edited, and I thought you went around like in the film festival circuit like maybe a year or two ago. Like this was all couple years ago, right?
Yeah, it was. And like, because we were in the film festival circuit, a lot of film festivals were like, you can't have it anywhere else, so we didn't have it on YouTube. And I also was pitching it too, and I was in 2 shopping agreements too, which took like a year each.
Wow.
And then you can't show it there either.
Yeah.
So now that we're done with film festivals, I'm so happy that we did put on YouTube. And I was feeling defeated because it's like it's been years, like we haven't been picked up by anybody, and like putting it on YouTube made me realize that it's like kind of old for us, but it's new for everybody else because no one really has seen it.
Yeah.
It has a wider audience now, and so that was also like very affirming and like, okay, I should definitely keep going because it's been like 7 years in the making.
Ooh.
To try to put on its legs, but I came with the idea in high school.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you're not really seeing movement, it's kind of hard to keep the faith and like keep going. And there has been several times when I felt like I wanted to give up, because I want to continue to play Naima, and like I'm in my 30s now, and I came with this idea when I was like, early 20s. When we started trying to like find producers and everything, but I feel another surge of energy now. That feels good.
Yeah, and I think that also a little bit speaks to the writing a little bit too. In the standpoint of like the purpose or the goal behind it is kind of exploring this identity perspective, and it does fit to this. Even if it was 2-3 years ago, even if it was an idea that germinated in your mind 7 years ago, this is still something that is relatable. This is still something that people are living with right now, as we talked about before. And I think it really kind of gives a hat tip to, again, the idea that you want to explore, the theme that you want to explore, but then also the writing that still continues to live on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. Yeah, you're right.
No worries. I also, it's just in like this refresh of energy around it. I believe that when you originally filmed it, you said it was just shopped as a pilot as you're trying to get it somewhere picked up and moving forward from there. Now, where do we stand with this new burst of energy and this new enthusiasm for like, where's the next episode? What's happening beyond the pilot? What can you tell us about Three Blind Mice now?
Obviously, gonna learn more about Muffin and Brittany and the other male characters.
Love it.
So Naima is who catapults us into this world, but it is Muffin and Brittany and the surrounding characters who like anchor it. And so you'll have other characters' POV. It's an ensemble cast, and so excited for you to like witness their journeys and what they're going through in their lives. Because sometimes people don't always talk about what they're going through in their personal lives, and sometimes people act a certain way because of what they're going through, but they don't want to like really confide in those around them. And so that's what the characters are dealing with right now in Three Blind Mice. And so really excited to see, for the audience to see how they act when they're in their comfort zone by themselves versus the face that they put on for other people. And so you're going to take a lot of time to get to know all the characters.
Now, I'm not sure if you're able to share, but it sounds like that means there's a whole season that's coming with this then.
Yeah, season 1 is coming. We're going to be filming it in 2026.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really excited about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, is it filming it all the way through, not worried about getting picked up, like still going with like the same distribution strategy you have now of let's get it on YouTube, or is the hope that you get it in the can and then put it back in front of some of these networks that you were possibly pitching to before?
Right. Well, we're still having meetings.
Good.
But the goal is to find distribution. So we don't want to put the whole season on YouTube.
Got you. Gotta wait now.
Yeah.
No worries. It looks good enough to actually still wait for it. So
thank you.
I'm excited. Yeah. I saw that you also did a shout out to Mayor Scott to try to get him into.
Yes, and it's cool to have Baltimore's support. That feels like really, really amazing. And like I got to be a part of UNCF's campaign to like raise funds for HBCUs, and they got to raise their goal, which is amazing. And just being a part of the mission, which is so important to me, and having the show like really stand for what's important for HBCU students, for Baltimore, and having the mayor on board is just a dream come true, really.
I'm sure. Can imagine.
Yeah.
So
really
I'll
cool.
keep my eyes peeled to see
keep
him
your eyes peeled
in a scene somewhere in there. I don't know if this was part of your strategy. Again, you went through the whole pitch, the shopping, the looking for in the film festivals to get picked up and so forth and so on, and then this viral moment happens.
Yeah.
Is that kind of accurate as far as like where we got to this point?
Yeah.
What else has come from the release of the project online that you just weren't expecting?
I didn't think it was going to go viral. I wasn't expecting that, like, at all. I remember, actually, I was pretty, like, sad and defeated that day. And so I was just like, okay, let me just put it up here because we just put it on YouTube, so let me just, like, advertise it on TikTok. And then, like, it was just blowing up. I was like, oh, wow. I wasn't expecting it.
Happy for it, though.
Yeah, so happy for it. That's what, the faith comes in to play. Because I was feeling so defeated about the whole project at that time when I made that TikTok. And so seeing it being so well received and people, like, you, like, still reaching out, even, like, months after, like, wow.
Seeing it through. Being steadfast with it. It's important. I mean, especially this craft, too, to your point. This is an idea that you had for 7 years, but this is also a craft that you've been working at for the majority of your life too, and you see like the fruits of your labor in the different ways that it could impact you and help you get to the next stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a testimony.
It's exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Imani, before the break, we were talking about the virality of the project that you've been working on, Three Blind Mice, and it's kind of coming back and bringing new life to you. But I'm sure you didn't just stay still while that project was going through its functions and the pitching process. What else have you been working on?
Yes, so I was in a program called UCLA's Professional Program in Screenwriting, and while taking that class, I wrote this script called Family Reunion. And it's like, I never tried like thriller horror before, so I realized I actually like writing that genre. And so it's about this black man named Jabril who was abused growing up. And then he gets an invitation to his family reunion. And he decides to go with revenge in his heart. And I think it's like the best script I've ever written. And so my goal is that after Three Blind Mice is done, at least with season 1, people will see like, oh wow, Imani can really do this. And so then I will be able to put on that production afterwards, which I'm really excited about. And then my mother and I produced a documentary called My Nana and Our Legacy.
Say the...
My Nana and Our Legacy, which is about my Nana's life. We were her caretakers for the last year of her life, and we got to interview her and get footage of like her doctor's appointments and visits, and also footage of her after she passed during her memorial service. And it's like about the importance of family legacy and knowing, where you come from, who the people are, but also paying homage to her and her greatness, that she's like the matriarch of her family.
Yeah.
And so both of those things I haven't done before, so it was really cool to tap into something different than Three Blind Mice, and then also seeing like what I'm capable of doing. And so definitely want to create more things after that.
Yeah, stretching yourself in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the documentary is a very relatable topic.
Really?
Just went through the caretaking myself, and my dad went through it, wrote a book about it as well. And so it's just how universal, again, these topics that you write about, that you focus on project-wise, how impactful that they are as well, and how many people can relate to it. So I'm excited to see that project as well, and condolences to you and your family as well.
Thank you.
As you go through that process. Yeah, I know it's not easy.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you in the family reunion? Are you acting in that as well?
I am gonna be like I've written one of the characters for myself to play.
Okay, excited to see that one.
Yeah.
And that's a feature.
It's a feature, yes.
Okay.
So
When you said family reunion, I definitely thought like Johnson family reunion, but then you added the thriller to it, so I was like, this sounds fun. I got chills.
I'm gonna change the title, but that's what it is for now.
Gave me a little Get Out vibes for a split second there.
Yeah, he inspired me.
Got you.
Jordan Peele, very Jordan Peele-esque, Get Out-esque type vibe.
I love that.
Yeah.
The question I ask everyone who decides to join me on this couch: why is filmmaking important to you?
Well, the arts are just important to me because it's what I started off doing, and I feel like it's filmmaking and my artistry is one of the only things I'm really good at, besides the code teaching, which I realized recently, but still teaching what I love to do.
Yeah.
And it has given me my confidence, which I've lacked for a great chunk of my life. And so it really affirms me and makes me feel great and proud of myself. And so that's what filmmaking is to me.
I love that.
Yeah.
You were talking about the genesis of you getting into acting and how it kind of lets you kind of come out of your shell.
It
like
really,
you were being a shy person before, but you're on that stage, you're in front of the camera, you're embodying this other person, this other character, and it lets you be so much more free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I took that advice when I was younger.
Oh, you can do it now.
Yeah. I could. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So the last section is called Last Looks, sponsored by no one, but we'll get there. It's just a very kind of finish the sentence or quick pick or choose situation. If you want to elaborate, by all means. It's just something fun. Have fun with it. There's no hardcore answer that you have to give.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
All right. Finish the sentence. The work I want to make next scares me because...
because I care too much about what people think.
I was going to give you space to elaborate, but you seem like you don't want to.
Oh.
No, that's cool. That's all right.
Well, I can talk it through as it's coming to me.
Yeah.
I'm very hard on myself, and I critique myself so much in the work that I do or have done that, and then, you know, like as Lauren says, like you're sensitive about your art and everything like that. And so I'm so proud of the work that I've done with Three Blind Mice, and so how well received it is, and that it scares me because it's kind of overwhelming to want to keep up the momentum of having everyone feel the same way about how good it is, and that like if I mess up and I get like a negative review, or someone's like, oh God, she fell off or it's not good, that scares me. Just because it was like what, a couple years, like 3 years ago we filmed it, and so I want to still like I think I'm scared to continue on with Three Blind Mice and with my other projects because of that, because I care about what people will say.
I love that you're still doing it. Scared anyway, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're claiming no negative reviews as well. Absolutely. A line or lesson you still hear from a mentor when things get hard?
Just keep going and don't sulk in your own negative thoughts, because time still goes by quickly and you don't want to be like wish you woulda, shoulda, coulda.
A DMV venue that you love the most?
Well, I'm going to Mama Coco's a lot, which is in Baltimore. It's like this beautiful black-owned bar slash social gathering space. It's quite beautiful. Great networking with black creatives there, and so I find myself there often, like my mom.
I love it. Your favorite on-set food?
Ooh. On-set food. I love when they have like the hearty meals, like the pastas and things like that, and the fruit snacks because they have them crafty. I love fruit snacks.
Crafty is important.
Yeah.
And then if you could co-write with one writer, who would it be?
Kay Oyejan. She was a writer for This Is Us and Queen Sugar, which are phenomenal shows.
They are.
And yeah, I look up to her because she creates characters with such depth and nuance that I hope to do in my own work. So I definitely would love to learn from her and co-write something.
I love it. Well, hopefully she watches this, and then nice little plug there.
Yeah,
there
for
you
sure.
go. Oh, Imani, this has been fun.
Very fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.